another week of the Average Oddcast. People, the critics have been writing in. Last week was the greatest episode of all time. And today, we have a very special show for you. Elon Musk wants to put a chip in our brain. Finally, we have a way to silence that nagging voice in our heads permanently. Musk also stated that he wants to get 1 million people to Mars by 2029. I'm also trying to get 1 million Instagram followers by that same year. And it's sad to realize that he is more likely to accomplish his goals than mine. But I don't want to be on the wrong side of history, so I'm writing a book about it. It's a Elon Musk fan fiction called King of Mars. And the whole book is AI generated by ChatGPT. Congratulations to Christopher Nolan for his Oscar win for Oppenheimer. Your success is exploding just as much as the bomb. In good news, Airbnb has finally banned indoor cameras, so you can finally relax and actually enjoy your vacation rental. All right, last but not least, good news for your workaholic friends in Australia. You can officially, legally ignore your work emails after hours. Now, if only your boss could get the memo. This is a friendly reminder to quit your job and maintain a healthy work-life balance. All right, folks, we have a very special guest this week. The one, the only, my unofficial, official guest, co-host, the other half to my tattoo on my chest, my best friend, the guy who once tickled me in a subway bathroom, the powerful Kyle Jimmy Chuckles holds again.
Nice. That's the best introduction you've ever given me.
Congratulations, man. You're a dad now.
Daddy. That's what they call me.
Yes. Easy E in the house. How's it going being a dad?
Oh, mostly good, you know. Today there's just been liquids everywhere, man. He pooped all over his diapers, peed all over his diapers. Just whenever Lucy does it, though. For some reason, Lucy has that effect on him, I guess. That he just sprays everywhere. Makes her cry, which I feel kind of bad about. But I don't really feel bad that he's not pooping everywhere for me. But I feel bad that she gets so upset by it, if that makes sense.
No, I think that makes sense. I just can't relate. Oh, I guess I can't relate because I guess I'm also a dad in one sense. Like I have a dog now, and
yeah, and he was pooping everywhere the other day.
Dude, yeah, I mean, we would like the past 3 weeks or maybe even a month, we would wake up and then we'd be like, all right, when we go to the crate, is it going to be covered in diarrhea or not?
There you go. I'm going to be honest. I imagine that Arbul's diarrhea is worse than Ezra's right now.
Dude, yeah, I think it's actually harder to be a father of a puppy because the advantage of a human parent is you have a diaper around your son.
Yeah.
And my son doesn't have a diaper. He just goes everywhere, you know?
Yeah. And I don't have to walk mine.
Yeah, you don't even have to. You just get to lay on the couch like you're doing right now.
Like right here.
Yeah, I have to take mine out. What's up?
There he is.
Hey, little buddy.
This is Ezra, guys.
Ezra.
He's a monkey man.
Monkey man. Easy E.
Check out my baby's backside.
I almost said, that looks nice, but I feel like that was weird. And I said it anyways, so I feel like
it is kind of funny. I thought about doing this. There's like this, Lucy and I have been watching Friends, and there's this episode where like Ross and Rachel have their baby, and spoiler, Ross and Rachel have their baby, and the only way they can get the baby to laugh is sing Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot. So they sing Baby Got Back to their baby. And so I thought about starting to do that to Ezra. So maybe we can do that at some point this episode.
Yeah, Baby Got Back. Yeah, if he ever, if he starts fussing, yeah, we'll just start singing Baby Got Back. Oh, dude, I got mine. That's actually crazy. We have matching cups right now.
This is brought to you by Shakespeare's. Yeah. Shakespeare's is an official sponsor of
This is a good week to pause and thank this week's sponsor of the podcast, Shakespeare's Pizza, a Columbia, Missouri staple for the last 50 years. We could not do what we do here at the Average Oddcast. I think I put like a caption at the bottom of this that says like, "This is a joke." I don't know if like legally, I feel like they wouldn't be mad. I guess if like,
I'm sure they don't even see it.
yeah. Me just thinking like, wait, are they gonna see this and like sue me? me and my dozens of weekly listeners.
Honestly, if they track you down for this, that's actually that speaks volumes to them.
I would never feel more affirmed in my success in comedy than getting a cease and desist from Shakespeare's Pizza.
Yeah, I'll gladly let them take down this episode.
yeah. Please demonetize me, YouTube. All right. Can I blow your mind real quick?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so you remember Guinness beer? We went to go visit there in Dublin.
Do I ever? Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Did you know that Guinness beer and Guinness World Records are the same company?
Maybe somewhere. I don't think I've really thought about it, but that's kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy. I didn't fact check it. I heard that on a podcast, and it sounded so true. I've just been telling people it.
Nice.
And I'm kind of okay with not verifying it. I'm just going to keep saying that because I want it to be true.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I like that.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think they had like the first world record, like world record for most beers chugged in 5 minutes?
I actually like to think that they started with the idea of no one is capturing, like this one guy did like a really long jump. Like he jumped like over a gap. He did a gap jump, like parkour. Like they were kind of innovating parkour back in the day. And then they're like, wow, has anyone ever jumped a gap that large? And they're like, oh, no one's recording world records for like cool stuff like this. So they started there. And then they were like, wow, there's no money in this. And they got really sad. So they started making beer at home. And they're like, actually, we're pretty good at this. So then they got good at both. I mean, eventually, they're probably better at beer than... Actually, I don't know. I don't know what they would be. I mean, I bet you Guinness is the more profitable side of the company. But their roots are in really just capturing... And that's really what I think a good beer is about, is a memory with a friend. It's not about getting drunk. I mean, we're both Christian. We know that's sinful. But I don't know why we laughed at that. Our faith is just so funny. Hey, guys. Yeah. All right.
Well, no, I was just thinking about it because, like, you brought up the Guinness, and the part that makes me like, the part that I remember the most about being in Dublin that going to Guinness was fun. That guy that was like our tour guide was really
in the
good.
Bus when we were going to the Cliffs of Moher.
Yeah, and then him talking about like something like, I think, what is it, like Trinity College, and like if a Catholic comes on campus, they legally have to like shove them off the top of the tower.
Yeah, it's like a really antiquated law that no one is like taking the time to get rid of. But no one's going to do that. But like technically, if someone did it, they wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, they would get shamed in society. They'd get canceled, but they wouldn't go to jail.
Yeah.
Speaking of jail and comedy, have you heard about Comedy Bar being in the national news?
Oh, comedy/bar?
Yeah.
No.
That's interesting. I think because like Megan also didn't know about it until I like told her, because it was like on Fox News. I mean, I don't think you probably watch Fox News that much, but
I don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not a regular, at least. I'm not familiar with their work. Ever since they fired Tucker Carlson, I quit watching.
Yeah, you were like ready to be a Fox News dad until they fired Tucker, and you're like, well, shoot, I'm back to CNN. I go.
Yeah.
So what I was saying is, Comedy Bar had booked these like 4 comedians, like national headliners: Kurt Metzger, Louis J. Gomez, Dave Smith, and somebody else I couldn't remember. And anyways, I guess they got some pushback from the community around having those kind of voices in Cap Hill. So they emailed back privately saying, like, explaining the situation. And a couple of the comedians, I don't think like said anything publicly about it, but Dave Smith did. I believe it was Dave Smith, and he like went on to Fox News and like some podcasts like talking about how Seattle hates comedy but loves drugs. And so Comedy Bar made these t-shirts, and that's like one of the t-shirts. And another t-shirt says, "I got canceled at Comedy Bar." And I love how they're just like leaning into the bad press, because it just shows that no press is bad press, or no. How does that phrase go? No press is bad press. Yeah, I don't know why I got so insecure about that. So, on the topic of news, I would like to officially announce my retirement from comedy.
Dang, that's big. Yeah. Is that real?
No, that's a bit. Because, well, here's
you really did it. You really didn't lean into that bit. You kind of just gave it right away.
Well, here's the thing is, okay, so I actually need to, I thought about this the other day, and this is the thing that sucks is like, so if you listen to comedy, you hear a lot of like premises for jokes and whatnot. So Nate Bargatze has this older joke. I think it's maybe on his first comedy album about like how he's like, I don't know. He makes this like turn about, I don't know. I'm thinking about quitting comedy. And it's like, and I think he says like, it's like hard to quit something that nobody knows that you do.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, who am I gonna call? I think he actually references Bill Cosby. I think that's before Bill got canceled and got exposed for all that he did. So not a great reference today, but but anyways, because I was just thinking about like if I don't know, some days I don't feel funny. Like I don't want to go to this open mic because it's at a bar, and I don't think I'm like. I think if you're a phenomenal comedian, a funny mood. Yeah. Like if you're a Shane,
sad mood.
Yeah. If you're a Bill Burr, if you were a Shane Gillis, if you show up at a bar open mic, it's gonna be funny, regardless. And I don't know. I feel like I need a really good crowd to be funny. That's just something I don't know if that's true, but I feel that inside
you feed off
me.
The crowd. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's
showman.
Yeah, I actually think I have a better stage presence. I think my ability to write jokes is pretty bad. I think if I ever get like a good joke, I think it's like pure luck, or like something like I've just, I don't know, maybe heard something.
You have your moments.
Yeah, I don't think I'm very strong at it, I guess what I say, but I do think I'm fun, and I think I can be fun. I don't think it's necessarily always boring when I'm on stage, and
I agree with that.
Yeah, But I am thinking about retiring my persona of Missouri, and I think just being more my authentic self. But I kind of wanted to do like an onstage character at times, like to reference, because it's kind of what's that? It's a caricature of someone from Missouri. It's not like an actual person.
Yeah.
Because I've said Missouri from stage a lot, and this comedian came up to me afterwards, and he's like, I actually was in Missouri. I like lived in St. Louis for like 6 months, and I never heard anyone say Missouri. And I was like, okay, that's fair.
That's interesting.
But I feel like that's kind of like saying I lived in Washington for a year and never met a queer person. And then you're like, oh, where did you go? And like, oh, I was in Cheney the whole time. It's like, okay, yeah, sure. Like states are big and the culture varies across the state. And I just felt like he was really trying to prove a point to me that no one in Missouri actually pronounces Missouri. Missouri.
Dang, man, you got mansplained about Missouri.
Yeah, it was like really awesome. I loved it. It was actually shrimp-splained. Call back. Anyways, that's an inside joke.
I'd love to be a part of one day.
Thank you. Hey, but actually about the news, this is something I was curious to hear your thoughts on. Have you heard about the 12 fans that have been getting their toes and fingers amputated because they attended the Chiefs-Dolphins games back in January?
I did, yeah. Mike Clunky sent me a news article the other day about it. Said, what's your fandom worth to you?
Yeah. Is like, do you think, because I don't think you had the opportunity to go to the game.
No, I did not. I had something that weekend.
Would you have stayed? Like if you had the opportunity and you like showed up and you're like, wow, it is actually pretty cold out here, I might lose a finger or toe. Would you be like, it's worth it to like be out here with my people?
I mean, the way I responded to Mike was, do you really need 10 toes? Like, do we really need all 10? Like,
I think you need your pinky toe the most.
Yeah, like you need your pinky toe, you need your big toe. Like, do I need the middle ones? I think I do remember like leading up to it. Like I told Lucy, maybe I think I was like, if I could get a ticket for like $50, I'd probably go. Mm-hmm. But I don't really want to pay much more than that to go sit out there. Like it's just gonna be miserable.
No, that makes sense. Which toe or finger would you been most excited about to lose?
No, I wouldn't want to lose a finger. I definitely would lose a toe. Maybe like my ring toe on my left foot.
Sorry, could you show me what you're talking about? I'm not sure I know.
Yeah, like
yeah, I'm just kidding. Like, no, you don't have to do that.
Like down here.
Yeah. People listening to this aren't getting the actual humor of it. So this is a good reminder to hey, if you have a YouTube account, watch us on YouTube, like and subscribe, baby, if you've been enjoying this.
There's been a lot more canceling in this episode than I was expecting.
Wait, what do you mean canceling?
Oh, we're talking about comedy/bar canceling people. We're talking about or getting canceled. We're talking about Bill Cosby getting canceled. We're talking about this podcast potentially getting canceled by Shakespeare's. There's just a lot of
your toes getting canceled from your body. Yeah. Bye-bye, Tucker.
My finger, my toe getting canceled. Like there's a lot of canceling going on.
Cancel my toes. Cancel my toes away, Tucker. I like that. Hey, one of the things that I know that we were talking about yesterday is this exciting new collab in the fast food industry.
Oh, yes. Yes. Big in Missouri. I don't know if it's big in Missouri, but Missouri is pumped about this collab.
Dude. The Missouri folk are dying right now.
They're pumped.
Dude, they are going wild in the comment section on Facebook right now.
Guaranteed.
So tell us more about this really innovative, exciting opportunity that Missouri folk are getting to enjoy these days.
Yeah, I am kind of intrigued. I don't actually know how it's going to work out, but have you ever been to like a KFC Taco Bell?
I have. Yeah, I think I've only ordered from the Taco Bell side of those, but I've been inside. Yeah.
Shout out to the new Cheesa. We're sponsored by Cheesa as well. Shakespeare's Pizza and the Cheesa, the chicken pizza Cheesa from.
Oh, I always thought it was pronounced Cheesa, but you think it's Cheesa?
Cheesa, yeah. There's no way that you thought it was Cheesa.
Yeah.
Mongo boy, there's no way it's Cheesa.
Sorry, honey. Can you bring my bagel in here real quick? All right.
Yeah, come on, bring our bagels. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be like that. It's Applebee's and IHOP.
No, the collab no one saw coming. No one had it on their bingo board for 2024, but that's what God does. You know, he works in mysterious ways. I feel God like, in this Chili's tonight.
Wasn't dude, God is always in Chili's. That is true.
Yeah.
Because what like IHOP said like for a while that they were going to change their name to like IHOP, right? Like International House of Burgers.
Oh, yep, I heard that. I think that was a bit.
Yeah, they didn't actually do. So maybe it's just doing that because I know they serve things outside of breakfast.
Yeah, chicken and waffles, which is a crossover. Crossover is, or the chicken and waffles is the crossover that. What am I trying to say? Okay, so the fact that so at Applebee's and IHOP you can get chicken and waffles, and I think that is the basis of their merger.
Really? That's crazy. I like that.
Well, I didn't hear that from like the CEO or any executive leadership.
Oh, you are just saying that.
Yeah, it just feels like, because at first glance, whenever you hear, okay, Applebee's and IHOP,
So is that the only thing you can order at their collab restaurants?
Yeah,
You can only order chicken and waffles.
It's essentially like a white trash Roscoe's chicken and waffles.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna call it. Probably like Carlson's chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
Tucker comes in. He owns it. He's there on the weekends. He does his show live from the kitchen. And it's kind of like that, like Hot Ones.
Yeah, I'd watch an episode of that.
Yeah.
Probably not many more than one, but I'd watch one.
Dude, this is the first time Tucker has been referenced on the podcast, and it's I think it's going to be pretty dividing. I think because I have the two types of people that listen to my podcast are people from Seattle and people from Missouri, and
yeah,
I think we all know who likes Tucker and maybe who doesn't. But I think this is a good point to bring up that as different as we are, Missouri and Seattle, the one thing that can bring us together is the mullet. That's the one thing that can transcend.
I thought you were going to say chicken and waffles, but probably both. But yeah, the mullet is definitely both. A unifier.
Yeah, I think mullet, but it means different things. I think in Missouri, the mullet means like you might not know who your biological father is. But in Seattle, if you have a mullet, it means that your biological father has probably disowned you. And the man you now call daddy
is me.
Actually used to be a woman.
Oh, well, that's not me.
Okay.
I should have waited until you finished that sentence.
Yeah.
I have all my parts.
Easy. All right. Okay. This week's episode of the Average Oddcast is brought to you by our friends at the Knitpick Collective. The Knitpick Collective is an online clothing brand that represents a group of artists and comedians. Their site offers unique all-over print sweatshirt designs as well as apparel that you won't be able to find anywhere else. Let me ask you, do you like frogs on penny farthing bikes? How about rainbow unicorns? How about vacuuming every day? Well, then this site might be for you. You can use the promo code so many things, no spaces in there. It's all caps, and you can get 20% off shirts, hoodies, and hats. Pull up a tab on your cell phone or wherever you're watching this, wherever you're listening to this, and go to the Knitpick Collective. That's knit with a K, and tell them Mike sent you. Are you claustrophobic at all?
Yeah, probably a little bit.
Okay, I want to show you this this video that I saw. Here, let me pull this up real quick. Hey, Jamie, pull that up because he comes out in this. What would you call that? Like a rain ditch?
Yeah, something like that. A rainway.
Okay, so this video starts. He's going down this tunnel.
Wait, no, it started. I thought. Oh.
Okay, so he's at like a manhole.
Yeah, climbing down.
And he throws down his skateboard and some knee pads, and he's climbing down this ladder. He's in this tunnel for one. How did he know that it was connected? It's so long that he's in this little tunnel.
Yeah, he had to have known that it came out because all these people are just waiting.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
That was scary, buddy.
He's back asleep.
That was quick. Would you do that ever? Could you see yourself going down there?
Oh, I thought you were saying, do I cry and then just go back to bed?
Oh, yeah. Do you often find yourself crying and then going right back to bed?
Would I do that? Yeah, probably. Seems fun.
I could never do it.
I mean, I guess like if I'm the first person and I don't know exactly where this hole is going, maybe not. But after like watching him do it, yeah. I could probably do it. It's like
Like
being
you
in,
wouldn't do it first, but you'd go second.
yeah.
Do you find that often in your life that you're just waiting for others to go before you to really you step out to fulfill your dreams?
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Just do it.
Probably some things, yeah. Definitely something like that. Like I'm not really that interested in doing this,
That's
but
fair.
like people are doing it, so it's like, okay, like this seems relatively safe. I'll do it. I think if I was like really interested in doing it,
Did
like
you ever skateboard?
yeah.
That's surprising to learn. Or maybe I knew that. I don't know. I just think that you're is that why your knees are so bad?
Oh, come on, man. No, no, my knees are bad because I'm old.
Oh, okay.
Now, whenever I was young, whenever I was spry, now like middle school, yeah, like kind of late elementary school, middle school, yeah, I was into skateboarding.
Have you experienced, this just made me think about this. Have you experienced any changes in your body since becoming a dad? Like since your son was born?
Um, mm, maybe I feel like my hair is thinner, but that also just because I don't think I'm really taking showers that much.
When was the last time you showered?
Yesterday, maybe 2 days ago.
I feel like that's like the haze of being a father or a parent of a newborn is just
Yeah, we
like
don't really leave the house much, so
all the days and the because you're up in the middle of the night sometimes. So like, even though the sun's out, you're not quite sure what day it is or what time it is.
yeah. Well, it's kind of gross because I went to the gym last night, but I don't think I showered.
Oh, that is gross. Did you get sweaty?
Yeah, I was very sweaty, yeah, but I got into the steam room, so that's kind of like taking a shower.
I appreciate the level with which you're going to kind of like justify and rationalize not taking a shower.
Yeah,
But to me, a steam room would produce exponentially more sweat. And
yeah, I definitely could. There's well, like Lucy was like I got home at like 9, so I hadn't eaten dinner yet, and like Ezra was kind of freaking out. So I was like, okay, like I can't really shower. I need to eat and I need to help Lucy. So that's probably why I didn't shower. And I was probably gonna do it later, but I just forgot.
that's a really good reason to not shower. Just fulfilling your fatherly and husbandly duties.
Yeah. Now this is kind of along those lines, not fatherly duties, but kind of the idea is like being in a steam room, the same thing as taking a shower. Um, like so you guys got your local gym, you got your Law Fitness,
Exactly. Yep. Proud members.
sponsored by Law Fitness as well. Go there to get all your workout needs. Do you like do old people go there, or is it just all young people?
Dude, I would say that the majority of people who go to my gym are 35 and under, but
Okay.
there is a small population that's 60 and older. And at least I can't speak for women because I've never been in their locker room, praise God, but I can speak for the men. And I would say 80% of the men over 60 that go to my gym refuse to wear clothes in the locker room, regardless of if they're
Shout out to John Draghi.
yeah, rest in power. On the toilet, in the shower, in the sauna, in the hot tub.
Wait, you guys have separate like men's hot tubs and stuff?
Isn't that pretty antiquated for Seattle?
That does feel wild.
Right? Yeah, we have our. I think it's probably more of a convenience thing.
Yeah,
Like it was
okay.
just maybe like the layout of the building. Because I really only go to one LA Fitness.
Is it the one that that's not the one I went to, right?
It is the one you went to.
Oh, I guess I don't remember that, but now I kind of vaguely remember that.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that where you were going with this?
Well, yeah, where I was going was like like the old guys at my gym will walk into the sauna with shaving cream on their face and they will shave in the sauna. And that's like a pretty common thing that the old men at my gym do.
Yeah, we don't have a steam room, so I've never seen that personally.
But no, I said they do it in the sauna part. The
dry sauna?
Yeah.
Where do they rinse their razor?
I don't know. They just walk in with it and shave.
Do they have a bowl of water with them?
No, I think they just wipe it on their towel or something. I don't know.
So they're just raw dogging their face?
No, they put the shaving. They like walk into the room with
that's right.
shaving cream on their face.
Okay, so they already got the cream.
Yeah.
That sounds like a
use of the word raw or the phrase raw dogging it though.
That sounds like a very painful experience.
Yeah, it doesn't seem great.
You know what is great though? Dune 2.
Very true. Dune 2 is amazing.
If you could, do you have a favorite quote from the film? Just off the dome?
I'd probably have to
off the Dune dome.
I'd probably have to
think about it more or just
watch it again to really get it. I do think I just cannot think of his name right now. I mean,
Frankie, look this up. What's his name?
Oh, but I can't think of I can't think of the actor's name. It's like, is it
Frankie? Pull that up.
Is it Benicio del Toro? No, that's the actor, or maybe it's the actor.
Javier Bardem.
Yeah, Javier Bardem. Benicio del Toro is the director, but yeah, him just standing over Paul and just calling him the Lisan Al Gaib whenever he does like anything. He's like
Lisan Al Gaib.
He's like he's just when Paul's like I am not the Lisan Al Gaib, and then Silgar's like he's humble. The Lisan Al Gaib.
I love the memes as it is written. That is, I might enjoy those memes just as much as I enjoy the film.
Oh, the memes are great.
Would you put either Dune 1 and 2 or either of them in your top 10 favorite films of all time?
Yeah, that's hard. Probably. I think I probably would. I mean, like that feels like a prisoner of the moment kind of thing. Like
what?
Like just like a prisoner of the moment. Like it's fresh, it's hot. So me putting in my top 10.
Did you just invent that phrase?
No, you never heard of prisoner of the moment?
I have, in my full 30 years of life, I've never heard that.
Dude, ask Meg, man. It's a phrasing. It's not like Philly farting. It's
or dilly dallying. Dude, yeah. I actually asked her what's her favorite quote all time of the podcast. You know what she said?
Which one? The
dilly
bar? The dilly bar thing?
It is when you're kind of dilly dallying, you're just not really. It's that. I mean, that might be my favorite clip from the podcast for sure.
That was like a good one.
That moment was the inspiration of me doing the best of episode. That's not true. Nate Bargat's the Nateland podcast, because they do every year in December. So that was the origination of the idea. And then then I was rewatching clips and I was like, so it wasn't the inspiration, but it was the motivation to do it. I was like, oh, there are some good moments. Like I should just do the best of episode.
That was a good one.
Because in the time that I was trying to record a podcast in South Carolina, I had COVID and I was locked up in a room for 5 days. I was like, what am I going to do with this time? So then I made the best of episode.
Oh, I like that. That now you're like kind of peeling back the curtain.
Yeah. So the little behind the scenes of what happens here in the Average Oddcast. Also, I'm thinking of changing the name again.
Yeah, I heard.
What?
Okay, before we can get off of this. This is a good one. I like where it's going. So anyways, I just looked it up. So prisoner of the moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, back to the
quote unquote The state where an opinion is based on things that are happening right now. There is no real regard for what happened before or what may happen after. So you're just a prisoner of the moment.
Is that from
But right
Urban
now-
Dictionary?
Huh?
Is that from Urban Dictionary?
No, this is from LinkedIn.
Oh, well, you know it's true if it's on LinkedIn. You can't
Yeah.
trust a lot of the internet, but you can for sure anything that's
Yeah.
stated on LinkedIn, because you could lose your job if you lie there.
True. But you said what I put in my top 10. I don't know. There's this picture. Let's see if I can find it. That was like, it was like, let's see. Can you see that?
Rank these sequel films. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So rank these sequel films. There's 12.
Oh, you got Top Gun, Empire Strikes Back, Two Towers, Blade Runner, Toy Story 2. I can't see me. Oh, Planet of the Apes is another. Captain America, Aliens. Your screen just dimmed on me. And then what's that? Oh, The Godfather. And then Batman. Is that the one on the left?
Yeah, Dark Knight.
And then Dune.
Yeah.
And then Terminator. Okay, those are all those.
Terminator. So I put Dune right now as number 2.
What's the number one sequel in your opinion?
Two Towers. It's amazing.
That's tough. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's,
right now I have my top
it's tough
5
to even
went,
have to compete against those two, because those are two. Those, I mean, both of those films are in my top 10 favorite films of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, my top 5 right now were Two Towers, Dune, Empire Strikes Back, Winter Soldier, Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's solid. I haven't seen some of those, but I think I would have a very similar list.
Which of those have you not seen?
Godfather.
Oh, that one. Okay. Oh, yeah, I thought you meant in the top 5 you hadn't seen those. I was like, I feel like I've seen all these with you.
Oh yeah, I've seen all of those top 5. Yeah, maybe all of them with you. I also haven't seen Blade Runner.
Oh, it's amazing.
Should I watch it?
Yeah, it's also Denis Villeneuve.
Oh, no way. I feel like I would really like it. I can't believe I haven't watched it then. That is surprising.
Yeah, watch the original and then watch Blade Runner 2049. They're good.
Is Ryan Gosling in that?
The second one. The original one is like from the 80s. It's got Harrison Ford.
Oh, so he didn't do the first one. He just did the sequel.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
He says that he actually doesn't like it because
He doesn't like his sequel?
Yeah, he said it's one of his least favorite movies he's done because he doesn't like, and I kind of get what he's saying, though I thought it was a really good movie. He doesn't like coming in kind of from the outside into somebody else's universe.
Oh, sure, because he didn't make the first one. Yeah.
And creating that. So kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't want to do a Star Wars movie because he doesn't want to come into George Lucas's universe and try to create something off of what he's done. So,
and for Dune, he got to, even though it had already been done in film version, he got to redo it in his own way because he got to do the first one. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's
good. I put it as number 2.
I mean, I like that. I actually tried to do this with Megan, what I'm about to share with you on last week's podcast episode. It bombed so hard that I just cut it from the episode because she didn't make any sounds the entire time, like in like kind of active listening or finding it funny. And then she was like, I don't know what just happened, so I just cut it. But
that sounds almost good. Like we need a behind the scenes episode of.
Well, that's actually, thank you for bringing that up, because if you want to see how bad this bombed with Megan on last week's episode, you can join our Patreon. You can do a free week trial. This is going to be uploaded to our Patreon the time this episode comes out. You can sign up for free for a week and try it out. If not, you can join at our lowest level, the bad boy level, for $7.77. Actually, right now, I'm feeling so generous. I'm going to bump that price down to $4.77. Join now. The first 10 people.
That's a deal you can't find, people.
You can't find. You can't even get a Starbucks drink for that cheap.
That's true.
The first 10. Let me tell you about this, Kyle. Have you ever wanted to be a founding father? Have you ever thought, I want to be in on what's happening, but a culture has already been set? Similarly to Denis Villeneuve, you don't want to hop into something that's already exists. You want to be a part of creating something. So if the first 10 people that join our Patreon at any level, you will become a founding father and mother of this podcast.
Nice.
All right. So back
can
to
I be a reverend mother?
You can be a reverend mother. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah, you can be a founding father or mother or a reverend mother as long as you live in the way of the Bene Gesserit and you can use the voice. Actually, if you could use the voice right now to command everyone to join the Patreon, I would love that.
Oh man, that's like hard. Okay.
Dude, you're a prisoner of the moment. All right. So what I've done is yeah. Join the Patreon. No, lower tonage, Paul. All right. So what I've done
whenever
is
he tells her, I don't even remember what he says.
Spoiler alert. Go ahead and say.
I can't remember what he says, but all the memes are just like, "Shut up."
Yeah. The memes of Paul using the voice on his mother.
No, on the
Bene Gesserit
mother. Like
the Reverend Mother. Yeah, which his mom. Spoiler alert. She also becomes a Reverend Mother
but not the Queen Mother, or whatever.
Not the Queen. Yeah. Okay, so back to what I was doing. Okay, so I love AI. I'm terrified that it's going to take over our world one day, but I'm enjoying it while it lasts. And so what I've done is I asked an AI chat generator to write up a Dune fan fiction about Paul Atreides trying to get a job at a local coffee shop in Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. Picture this. Paul Atreides, his face scrubbed free of Arrakis sand for the first time in like forever, shuffled into Rainier Grind, a haven of aggressively cheerful bean aroma and ironic mustaches. Can you relate? He wasn't there for the vibes, though. He craved that sweet, sweet caffeine. A sad substitute for spice. Sure, but a broke duke gotta do what a broke duke gotta do.
Too true.
A barista with a name tag that screamed Brett, they, them, looked up. Their eyebrow piercing, glinting like a miniature Sardaukar blade. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, Sardaukar.
Brett exclaims, "Welcome to Rainier Grind. Can I start you off with a venti existential dread latte?"
I love that the AI is really leaning into stereotypes.
Dude, yeah.
Really good.
Dude, AI, everyone thinks AI is woke, but okay. All right. So Paul,
but they get canceled at comedy/bar for sure. Yeah.
ChatGPT is canceled at comedy bar. Paul, the ever diplomatic dude, managed to smile. Actually, I was just wondering if you had any like job openings. Brett's smile went low-key awkward. Yeah, for sure. We're always looking for passionate baristas to join our grind fam. Suddenly, Paul felt a familiar tingle course through his veins. His vision went full HD. The boring hum of lights morphing into a straight-up rave. He saw the microscopic gremlins living in the counter crest, the yeast kingdom raging in the overflowing compost bin. It was lit, terrifying, and totally sus for a job interview. They're also, ChatGPT is also Gen Z. Actually, Paul blurted in his voice a lo-fi rumble. "Forget the coffee, you're giving Harkonnen right now. Can I just like sharpen your knives?" Brett blinked, their nose ring catching the light. Actually, ChatGPT is pretty woke. They use the proper pronoun for Brett. Sharpen our knives. We don't sharpen our knives here, dude. Paul frowned. But the low-key chaos in the air, the inherent danger lurking in every dull blade, you wouldn't want your customers to be, mildly inconvenienced. He reached out, a fingertip brushing the metal milk frother on the counter. It pulsed with a weak, sleepy energy, a total poser compared to its potential. Pity for these poor, clueless baristas flooded him. Brett backed away slowly, their smile now strained. Sir, this is a coffee shop, not a Sir, this is a coffee shop. All right, sorry. I can't read good.
It's that Missouri teaching, that Missouri education right there.
All right. Sir, this is a coffee shop, not a knife-wielding cult. Maybe you should try, they cast a nervous glance around, down the street at that place with throwing stars. Paul blinked, the spice-fueled haze receding. Throwing stars? Right. Big nope. May your knife chip and shatter. Good afternoon, sir. He shuffled out, the existential dread latte suddenly sounding way more appealing. Maybe a little spice wasn't the worst thing for a job interview after all. At least it would make for a more fire rejection story for his future memoirs on TikTok. Scene.
Gas.
Straight, all gas, no brakes, baby.
I'm more interested than that than the Elon. I'm not gonna lie.
What are you more interested in?
The Paul trying to find a job in Seattle. Than the Elon memoir thing. Like, if you're gonna write a story, I'm more interested in the one.
I should write a book. Okay, I get, because I was saying earlier that I wanted to write a fan fiction about Elon Musk becoming king of Mars. Sorry, I forgot what I've talked about in this podcast. I've been microdosing my Alexa Pro, and I'm a little foggy right now.
You need some more of that vitamin D.
Yes. Okay, but speaking
of... You want to hear
a
really funny story?
Yeah, I would love to.
It's kind of gross and invasive, too.
We can always cut it.
This little guy, because he can't be in the sun, he also has to take vitamin D.
Oh, yeah.
So
I think I'm going to have to cut this from the podcast for Lucy's sake.
So, it's good.
And that's how babies get vitamin D.
It's true.
I have a couple bad ideas that I want to run by you.
Wait, what was the bit that Meg hated or didn't react to?
The whole thing I just read you about, the Paul Atreides.
She didn't like that. Oh, shoot. I just scared Ezra.
Yeah.
She wasn't about that.
Chuck's visceral response just awakened his baby from his sleep. No, she did not enjoy anything about that.
Dang, man. Tough crowd. I thought that was gold.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, well, actually, I didn't write it. AI did, but...
Yeah, top 5 bid of 2024 so far, I think.
That might make it on the best of episode.
I haven't listened to every episode of 2024 yet, but that was good.
That's okay. Neither has my wife. I do have a question for you.
A lot of them.
Yeah, I believe you. I got another opportunity for you. Would you swim with this snake?
Absolutely not.
Look at this anaconda. This is Dutch professor. I forget his name.
Buns on.
Oh, Freak Vonk on Instagram posted this video of him swimming with a 26-foot southern green anaconda in a river in Brazil last year.
Absolutely not.
Do you think this video is real or AI generated?
That snake does not look real. Like that, it looks better quality than anything else in the video.
Are you sure?
The head, at least.
So look at this guy's Instagram. This is Freak Vonk. He's got 72,000. That's crazy. I could not read that number. That took me so long. All right, okay. So here's another Oh my gosh.
You got to log into one of your 50 Instagram accounts.
Well, I thought I was already all logged in. Okay, so we're going back here. All right, so his name. Or here's another video about it.
They discovered what they're calling the world's biggest snake, and one of those scientists decided to swim with the snake. See if you can spot him here in the water.
That's a snake?
That's a snake next to him. That's a scientist, a Dutch scientist. His name is Professor Freek Vonk. The snake is 26 feet long, 440
Like, look, the head looks so much cleaner than anything else.
Well, I think it's just because it's in focus.
I really don't know what he's doing. I mean, honestly,
Is he wearing a shirt and tie?
that's his research project there. I guess that's what they submitted.
So you look like now, like it just kind of clips, and it does. I can see why people would think it's fake.
But do you think it's real?
Maybe. I have no reason to think that the guy's lying to me.
That's what I'm saying.
I would definitely not swim with that snake, though.
Yeah, it's a bad idea to swim with that snake. I mean, he survived, but he's also a professional, so do not attempt this at home.
Yeah, I don't know how aggressive anacondas are, but
I mean, do you remember that film back? I think it was like really popular. I remember watching it a ton with my friends.
Oh,
the
with
film,
J-Lo.
Anaconda.
Yeah.
And they were on that boat.
Super aggressive.
Oh yeah, I mean that one, but it's also a film, so I don't know how much Hollywood is really
glued into the temperament of anacondas.
Yeah, like the actual science of them.
Yeah.
But he seemed pretty comfortable, and the anaconda seemed pretty unfazed.
Yeah.
So maybe he was just full, because people will get into a lion's den and be fine.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Now, what I've been told is that so in the original Anaconda movie, J-Lo is in it.
Yep.
What is she most known for?
What is J-Lo most known for?
Yeah.
Now let me think about this for a quick second.
Yeah. Most famous for.
I'm going to be honest, the first thing that comes to mind, and I don't even know if this is true, was she married to Brad Pitt at some point?
I don't think so. But maybe. Ben Affleck. She's back with Ben Affleck.
Who did I just say? J-Lo married to who?
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Oh, wait. I'm thinking of Angelina Jolie. Wait, Jennifer Lawrence and Angelina Jolie are different people.
Jennifer Lopez.
Wait, what'd I say?
Jennifer Lawrence. That's J-Law.
I mean, that's also true.
J-Lo.
I meant to say Jennifer Lopez and Angelina Jolie, age-low, are different people.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, my brain, I'm pretty foggy right now.
Yeah.
Wait,
Anyways.
Okay, so now that I know who we're talking about.
Yes,
J-Lo,
Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo.
Jennifer Lopez. What is she most well known for? I need to look up a picture of her because I'm actually struggling to place who J-Lo is.
She's married to Ben Affleck, or she's
married to Ben Affleck. I would say that she is, if I really had to.
Well, because she used to make music.
Well, she used to make music. I think that she is probably most well known for acting as Selena in the film Selena.
Yeah, maybe. So I would say she's most well known for having a large backside.
Okay.
Having a big butt.
Yeah.
And if we go back to the beginning, if we think about it, I've heard Sir Mix-a-Lot told me that anacondas don't want none unless you got buns hun. And so maybe that's why that anaconda was so aggressive. That normally they are very tempered creatures, but dude just went wild when he saw that backside. What do you think?
I am so impressed by how intelligent you are, because I think you have just solved the case because you saw that professor. He ain't got no rump. He ain't got no junk in the trunk.
Yeah, I couldn't tell, but he didn't seem like a guy that has a large rumpus.
No, I think he's a flat-butted fool. Okay, he ain't got nothing to bring to the table.
He's a flat-bottom Phil for sure.
He's a flat-bottom Phil. Call back. I think you bring up a good point, and I think that whoever directed that film really understood the
Sir Mix-a-Lot's vision.
Yes, for society, for our preferred future in the world of Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah.
Now, is this something that you've run past your wife yet?
What?
Your theory on Anacondas and Jennifer Lopez and Sir Mix-a-Lot?
No, honestly, I just thought of it while I was talking to you. I've never.
Oh, wow. So
it's never come out of my mind and out of my mouth, out of my mind until today.
Out of my mouth or enter my. All right, this has been fun.
Yeah, this is a freaking Oddcast original right here. This is just for you all. You won't get this content anywhere else because I've never heard it. I've never talked about it.
This is unique perspective into the mind of the one, the only Jimmy Chuckles. A new father. So this is pretty fun. I want to maybe wind us down with this new segment that we're calling Remix Around the Horn. So you're familiar with the concept of Around the Horn, right?
Yeah, the show.
Yeah, not necessarily the ESPN show, but just the concept of talking around a topic around the table or around the. That's what I picture of this. So, do you have a favorite movie of all time?
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Which one?
Just all of them, but the Two Towers is my favorite one.
Two Towers. So choose between the title Lord of the Rings or Two Towers.
Like choose between the two?
Yeah.
Like which is my favorite?
No. What's your favorite title?
Oh,
Lord of the Rings or Two Towers?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Okay. So the title of this new film is called Lord of the Rings. So how this works is that's all we have to work on. Last time when I did this, we started the film in the same place. So we did Meg's favorite film, which you might know is White Chicks. So we remixed the plot and the story of White Chicks, but we started in the same place. But what I'd like to do this week with you is Lord of the Rings. It can be in a different universe, different characters, different everything.
Cool.
So Dennis Villeneuve came to us. Denis Villeneuve came to us and said, "Hey guys, I want to make a film called Lord of the Rings, but I'm just struggling to write it. Can you guys write this story for him? And then this is the story that we're going to pitch to him, and we're going to take turns writing the script."
Okay.
Would you like me to start, or would you like to start?
Oh, I can start. Like, what am I doing? Am I telling you the whole plot?
No, I'm going to hop in, or if you pause, then I take over, and then if I pause, you take over, or you can just interject if you have an idea to take it, like a kind of like an improv, like yes and kind of keep going until we find the full story.
Okay. Okay. So Denis Villeneuve, he comes to us and he's like, "Hey guys, like I know I'm most well known for, being a sci-fi director. I'm arguably the best sci-fi director of all time. But I'm wanting to dip my toes into a different lane. I'm wanting to do a rom-com. It's going to be called Lord of the Rings. Now picture this. We have this strapping young lad, got like kind of dark blonde hair. He has a mustache, really beautiful blue eyes, flowing, luscious mullet. He's living in the Seattle area. And he has 1 year to have as many women fall in love with him as possible. But they're not in on the bit. And his goal is to make 100 women within a year fall in love with him and get engaged. And he's going to get engaged to 100 women.
And his name is Charles. And the one challenge that Charles is facing is that not only does he constantly reek of country fried steak, it's like this weird disorder that he has, that it's like whenever he sweats, he has a lot of sweat glands, and his sweat has the odor of country fried steaks. And he was also born with a birth defect where instead of having two normal hands, he has two left hands, but he's a right-handed person.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So the two left-handed man, which actually comes really in well because he's going to get married. So he can actually only get married to two of them. So he has to pick two out of the 100, but he gets engaged to 100 women. And he has just this running title of he is the Lord of the Rings.
So he's talking to his pal, Blake, at the local coffee shop, Rainier Grind, who is in a polyamorous relationship, which we had to explain to Dennis what that meant, and we struggled, so we had to Google it. And Blake told him, look, man, I really think, I think that you're gonna marry Margaret, but I think that you should actually marry Cheryl.
Interesting. You said Mary Margaret. I thought that was a woman's name. Was Mary Margaret?
No,
but just Mary Margaret.
Yeah, Charles wants to marry Margaret, but Blake thinks that he should marry Cheryl.
They started to have a competition to kind of whine or whittle the two down. So they've whittled all the women of Seattle, the single women, down to 100, down to 2, and then whenever they find it, Margaret actually
the competition that they enter into, so they actually hop on a plane and they fly to Brazil. And what the competition is that they're gonna make Margaret and Cheryl race to the Jesus statue, like the top of the Jesus statue. Yep. So it is
Jason Momoa is a bad guy trying to prevent them from getting there.
Yeah, so Jason Momoa, so
is actually just a cybernetic anaconda.
Wait, what's cybernetic mean? Just so I understand.
Mechanical.
So he's a mechanical anaconda.
Yeah.
So he
with Jason Momoa's face.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a mechanical anaconda called
Jason Momoa-Anaconda.
Jason Momoa-Anaconda is a villain that introduced the story once Cheryl and Margaret land in Brazil. You get introduced to Jason Momoa-Anaconda, who is living at the base of the Jesus statue in Brazil, and has a connection with the spirit world, and hears about this competition that's happening, and he's pretty greedy about what happens on his kind of in his territory. Like, he's very territorial. In his domain, because there's a secret power source inside the body of the Jesus statue that keeps him alive.
Yeah, the spirit.
It's a tesseract from an alien spaceship that was left on Earth that has been hidden there, and that's actually what keeps him alive.
Interesting. Okay. And he goes crazy because Margaret has a really nice derriere.
And what does as... Wait, which character has the... Margaret initially beats Cheryl to the Jesus statue because she got 20% off all Uber rides for the month of April. So she just Ubers most of the way. Now, Cheryl works as a barista at Rainier Grind. So she doesn't have a ton of money. Like, she spent all of her money. So she's just trying to figure out how to get to the statue. But Margaret Ubers all the way there. So she's like a day or two ahead of Cheryl. But Jason Momoa-Anaconda wraps up Margaret and is holding her hostage and FaceTimes Charles
holding her ransom and says, turns out this is actually the Princess of Wales. If you really want to save her, you will bring me all the Queen's jewels.
So he calls Elon Musk and lets him in on what's going on and is making a compelling case. Elon, you got to help me out. Can I borrow your private jet to fly to Brazil to save the love of my life, Margaret?
Elon says, nah, I'm going to Mars. Shuts us down.
But he invites Charles to become a co-owner of SpaceX and become the king of Mars, because Elon is looking for someone to rule this new colony, this new society, this new kingdom, the kingdom of Mars, and needs a king. So now Charles is in this dire situation. Does he go to save the love of his life, Margaret, from Jason Momoa-Anaconda, or does he follow Elon's dream to become king of Mars?
And in this classic tale of career over woman, he chooses the love of his life, goes, kills Jason Momoa-Anaconda, slays the beast, saves Margaret, the Prince of Wales, and he becomes Lord of Wales.
Or more commonly known as
Lord of the Rings.
And Dennis loves this pitch so much that he actually takes us on as executive producers, not only just as people who write this, and we get to know him better, and then he introduces me to Joe Rogan. And so I go on the Joe Rogan podcast, and I'm like, hey, can I actually get my friend Chuck in on this episode too? And then that's actually how we get our start as professional musicians, because the world gets exposed to the magic that is Jimmy Chuckles and the Fire Ants.
That's good.
Now, as this episode winds down, we are now hearing in the background Flat Bottom Filts, one of the greatest songs to ever be written, parody of Flat Bottom Girls, which has really been the premise for our film, of how fat bottom girls made the rockin' world go round, and anacondas lose their mind and become vicious animals like Jason Momoa. Everything comes full circle here at the Average Oddcast. Everything is tied together. I feel God in this Chili's tonight. Thank you so much,
amen,
baby Easy E, for taking a quick nap or a long nap.
Oh yeah, the whole time
while we record this.
Hour and 20 minutes he's running on.
Anything that you want to let people know, any exciting things on your horizon to kind of, where can people find you, get in contact with you?
Oh yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Fake Chuck Wagon, or the Fake Chuck Wagon, maybe.
Yeah, find him. Yeah, we'll put the link in our show notes at the Fake Chuck Wagon. Check him out on Instagram.
I'm thinking about starting a rival podcast.
Oh, a rival podcast to the Average Oddcast?
Yeah.
What are you gonna call it? We're kind of in the market for a new name, so we don't want to have the name of our competitor or a name.
Haven't landed on it yet. Landed on a name or really what we're gonna do yet. But we've been talking about it.
Well, that actually feels very much like what happens at this podcast. Not really quite sure what we're doing, where we're going, what we should be called, but we're doing it.
So yeah, you guys can be on the lookout for that. But also, want to plug, guys. We kind of talked about it briefly in this one. We are going to have an annual State of the Union address on
State of the Universe on
State of the Universe on space trash, on what's happening with space trash. I think Bill and Christopher are going to come back. And I think, at least right now, we're in the works. We're trying to get Colleen on. Yeah,
we sent a message to my mother, Colleen Heath, to get her on the show. We've also reached out to Elon Musk's team to get really just an answer for why he has left so much trash in space and what he feels responsible for. Or not responsible for. We want to get comments on that. And then additionally, we reached out to, what was that other person we reached out to about being on the show?
Probably Walmart.
Oh yeah, Walmart, because Christopher exposed
Himself.
really kind of broke the news on how Walmart is contributing to space trash. So I think that's I'm glad you caught that, Chuck, because what we want people to do is we want people to get up to speed on what has been happening with space trash over the last 10 years. And you can do that by going back to watch, I believe, episode 6 of this podcast. We'll put the link in the show notes. We'll link it so you can go back and get caught up, because there's been much that's happened since we last covered it, but we don't want to have to rehash everything we've already covered. So be sure to go back and watch that before the State of the Universe podcast comes out on space trash. Any other final words, Chuck?
What do you think I'm calling this thing?
Oh, calling my podcast?
Yeah.
It's a secret. So let me just wrap this up, and then I'll tell you in a second. All right. Okay. Thank you, Chuck, for being on the show. And thank you all for being on this journey with us. Let us know what you thought of this episode. Drop a comment, like, and subscribe. As always, my friends, stay funny and stay weird. Peace. Oddly funny world. Oddly funny world. Oddly funny world. We all live in an oddly funny world. Oddly funny world. Oddly funny world. Y'all live in an oddly funny world. An oddly funny world. Oddly funny world. We all live in an oddly funny world. Oddly funny world. Oddly funny world.